Alright guys, back with another video. Got you the aftermath of the O2 Grand Marquis. Ran down there at Listy on the 20th. We ended up winning the heat. Made it to the feature. Ran the feature and I think I was about the 5th one left running, but we had some really tough competition. We had a Cadillac. It was built hard. And a, can't remember the name of the other one. It looked like an Imperial, but it's like a Etzel. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. But you guys can tell she's a little bent. Front end's up a little bit. Well, a little bit. Actually, if you look here, it's up to my waist. I did bend that down. It was up a little higher when it was on the trailer. We put it up on the trailer and we got it here, went to unload it, and I pulled it down with the winch. I have a 12,000 pound winch and we pulled it down. I think it come down like 2 inches. But overall, the car itself did good. I mean, never died out. I had to shut it off once because the gas pedal stuck, because I'll show you in a minute here on the hood how it bent at the firewall and everything kind of pushed back in. We ended up breaking the tranny, so I gotta get that welded. It snapped where the one bolt goes in. It snapped the ear off, so hopefully get that welded. I'm tired of putting trannies in. This is the second tranny now, so this car is done anyways. We're gonna start with the other Crown Vic here, but we got skid tires on the back like I showed you guys. This thing held up pretty well. I think I only had one little driver's door hit. See the engine there? Look, now I took the air cleaner off, but it was actually just into the air cleaners how hard it bent. And over there, it hit the fuel line. It actually cut the fuel line. I didn't know, but it ended up breaking. What took me out was a U-joint. It bent so bad, it snapped the U-joint. As you can tell here, I don't think I hurt the rad. It's twisted, but I'm going to pull it out and put a piece of cardboard down, step on it, and get it straightened back out. But it looks to be fine. It's a little bit bowed out there. But this thing didn't skip a beat. I mean, had power. It hit second gear. It's still... I know the tranny still works. My tranny cooler got bent. I don't know if you guys can see that real well. But, I mean, this thing bent hard. I'm going to have to make a bracket for this. Either that or find another way to bolt it. Other than that, I mean, we'll do a startup. I'll give you guys a cold start, too, of this thing. You'll get to hear. As you can tell here, like, I don't know if you can see it there, it actually bowed the cowl vent panel up. This is all bent through here. I mean, look how that fender creased. Fender was really the only thing, like the fender and the dashboard was the only thing holding this thing up. Bumper did not move, which is good. I don't gotta get another bumper and make one for next year, thank gosh. Let's see here. I mean, other than that, we didn't lose. It still has fluid. Didn't leak any fluid. Did not overheat, nothing. This thing ran perfect. Did get a little bit of cut on my new tire, which sucks, but what do you do? And I think from the roof looks weird. Now, it did bend here, but they picked it up with a forklift, so it did kind of screw the roof up. That's not what all happened from the Derby, but when them big cars decided, oh, they're going to hit me there, they ripped that open pretty good. But I'll show you in here. Let me get a light. So show you guys, it actually creased the floor pretty good. But I'll tell you what, these things, for being a stock build with not much done to them, they hold up really well if you build them right. Every little bit helps. But I mean, it bent down there. It's a crush box, and it's funny because it didn't bend so much the whole crush box. It's where the front frame meets the crush box is where it bent. But I don't know if you can see over there. Look underneath the shifter there. You see how crinkled that floor is? And then the reason the gas pedal was sticking was because it was hitting the firewall out there. That's the only place I've seen it crease. It did crease down there. It creased the rocker panel where they hit. I almost got the tranny cooler. I gotta fix, like I said, I gotta fix the tranny. Nothing moved back here inside. Everything's still fine. It did actually, I did put a second notch in this, in the frame, and it bent up perfect. I mean, there's the bumper underneath of there. So, this bent awesome. If you guys are ever going to do these, notch them right after, V-notch right after, about halfway down, right past the shock. Where there's a shock bolt, right where it ends, put a V-notch. Go like a ½ inch past that and do a V-notch in the frame. It'll bend up perfect. If you make it to a second run, put a second V-notch about 3 to 4 inches in front of it. And then it'll bend perfect. It'll bend up just like this. Perfect. I mean, this is what you want. You got it all coming in. Yes, it's getting close to the tire, but I mean, this took a hell of a beating. And usually you hit and it's into the tire already. And I mean, I had to make a tiny bit of wheel clearance out of the heat, and that was it. So, I mean, it did damn good for what it was. I mean, it is a solid car, but these are good starter cars. Biggest thing is you got to keep them moving. Watch your wheel shots. Make sure nobody's trying to take your wheels out, because that happened to me a couple times, but thankfully they didn't get the wheels. Didn't hurt none of the suspension. But give you guys a quick start up, and then I'm going to do a aftermath of the 4-cylinder for you quick. It probably won't be as long. And my dad ran that '08 Crown Vic you guys seen. We will do an aftermath of that here. I'm going to go do that. He'll probably post it today, I'm not sure. But get this thing fired up here and let it idle a minute. If you hear a funky noise, it's not the motor. I went over, that's why I thought that's what was wrong with it. And here the transmission's loose, or somehow all the bolts come loose. I have no idea. So next time I'm going to put some Loctite in it, but we'll start it up. Better pump it or it won't. Alright, cold start. Done nothing to it. Hasn't been started. That 3 pumps of the gas, it's sitting here idling. So give you a little rev here. Let you know she's still. Alright, there you go, guys. This is the aftermath if you're wanting to see it. So, like I said again, I don't know if I can get you a good shot here. I mean, you can see me here. About right there on my waist is how high it was, and it was about up to here. So, she bent pretty good. I don't know how many inches it's up, but I guaranteed it bent a lot. You can look at the frame there, and it's up pretty good. So we're going to save all the suspension, save everything off of it, pull motor tranny, fix the tranny, dry shaft's toast. I already decided I'm going to be going to a slider dry shaft. I am done with making my own. I'm going to get a dry shaft set up for this, for any Crown Vic I run, because they all should be the same. Even the old squares, should be the same wheelbase. They might be a tiny bit different, but I'm mainly going to go to running these and the 90 Vics. So we're going to get a dry shaft for that, and hopefully we don't have no more problems. I'm going to have to maybe look into maybe a tranny brace or something. I don't know if I can do that. Maybe a steel belt. I don't know how much goes into switching them over. So I got to do some digging around and see what I want to do, because I do want to get another tranny. I do want to get a Turbo 400 and build it. So them are the 2 next things I'm going to get, and you guys stay tuned. This LS We're going to be putting new timing chain. We're going to be putting, might be getting a set of new bearings. I'm not sure, which we'll see. I'll pull the pan and look over them. But they're not making a noise, so I'm thinking lifters, oil pump. We're definitely putting a cam in it, and it has new head gaskets and stuff, but we're gonna be putting fresh ones on. And I want to up this thing, maybe even port the heads, like do it myself. Obviously not too much, but just the exhaust, like kind of gasket match them. Because I know you got to watch porting LS heads. Certain ones are real close, because they actually, LS's, when they made them, they actually did a really good job making them from factory. And you can only go so far, or you cut into the certain part of the head and it'll actually, I think it's a water jacket or something, or there's something in there you'll hit. But so we might even end up putting another set of heads on, I don't know. But we'll have to see what heads are on that 5.3. I have it back in the shed and I'm getting another 5.3. So yeah, so that's the plan for this thing. This thing's gonna probably get carburetor rebuilt, oil pump, probably gonna buy a new starter just to be safe. So we'll get the oil pump, we're gonna rebuild the carburetor. I need to get new motor mounts because I want this thing to sit down lower. It sits up too high. We need to get it down a couple inches. And I'm using the truck mounts, so we're gonna go to using the either car mounts, or I'm gonna get aftermarket mounts and just make my own or something. That way it sits down more. And like I said, cam, oil pump. I'm going to do a new timing chain, because anytime you do a cam, spend a little bit extra money and put a timing chain in it, because it's not worth it to put a cam in it and not a timing chain, unless you're just recently put one in and only has a little bit on it. But if you have an old worn out chain, there's no point in putting, you know, a brand new cam in, because then it'll still run good, but it's just not good, because that's what drives the cam. But we're gonna do that, and I mean that's about it. We're gonna experiment. We're gonna do this. I heard a 4.8 over the weekend at the Derby, and man, it sounded good with the cam. So we're gonna put cam, lifters, maybe lifters. I don't know. We'll look and see. Probably gonna order the cam from Texas Speed. I don't know if you guys watch. I'm a big fan of Cletus McFarland. I don't know if you guys watch him, but I think we're gonna get a cam for it. I'd like to get a decent one. I don't want nothing too crazy. I think we're just gonna get like a good low to mid-range torque. I don't need nothing crazy. I don't need a low B idle. I just need, you know, maybe just upgrade. We may also look into getting a all aluminum radiator, but I mean these things here are free, so there's really no point in it, and it's still keeping it just as cool. I mean, yeah, the full aluminum radiator would be a little bit smaller, and it would be better and cool it a little bit more. But I mean, this thing, I don't even think it got that hot, to be honest with you. I mean, it was probably warm, but it didn't even die out, didn't phase it, nothing. I mean, if I hit the gas, it was there. And the only time it shut off, if you guys watched the video, it did shut off, but that's because dummy me, I preached to you guys about, you know, wiring and stuff like that. If you can see, of course it's dark. You get the light. Oh, I lost the light. Jesus. Alright, here it is. Hang on, guys. We gotta get back around here. But, alright, here we go. Right there. Do you see that? That is the factory wire from an LS. Dummy me didn't put nothing on it. So it was arcing off of down there. Arcing right on that piece of metal. Like an idiot, right by the gas line. So I guess I need to be a little more careful with that, because you'll see the sparks in the video. That's what that was from. I pulled it away, fired it right up, no problem. So just remember, always watch your wiring and pay attention to, like, I didn't really, this is my first time dealing with this, but like even the wire going back here goes in for the starter in the ground. You got to remember, if your car is going to bend, make sure you have enough room going in. That way it doesn't pinch it off. You don't want to catch fire over something stupid you could have avoided, you know. Wrap it in a freaking rubber hose or something, you know, an old rat eater hose or something. But this one here, it's probably gonna be it for you guys. We won't be seeing no more of this one. This one's gonna go to back to the junkyard where it come from. We're gonna pull everything off. Rear end's coming out, all the control arms, even the mounts up on the package tray we're gonna cut off. I'm gonna keep all the wheels, tires, gas tank. Always pull your bars out. You can reuse them. All the wiring, column, all that stuff will come out. Brake pedal, I ain't gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep the master cylinder. Cause you guys, that's another thing too. Watch on these. These are very weird. This is actually an old master cylinder. This is off of a like 90s Vic. These O2s, they come with two different sized lines. I don't know why, but they do. One's a 1/4 inch and one's 3/16. So that's why we have this on here. Because, well, I was originally going to run all brakes, but we ended up just running front brakes. Which actually, that is 1/4 inch line. So this one actually, I'm sorry that was wrong. This is off of No2. This is the original one because look, it has the, that's 1/4 inch line. It's hard to see, but that's 3/16. So that's the problem I ran into. Now if you're just going to run rear brakes like I did, I just ran rear brakes, took the front calipers and all that stuff off. You can do that. You just got to either smash it shut. I welded this one shut. But that's about it. I mean, we're just going to strip it, keep everything off of it. I'm going to save the core support out of this. It's twisted, but it's not crazy twisted. It's definitely usable. So what I might do is I'll cut the bumper off. And then what we'll do, I'll hook the winch to it down there and pull it out. Straighten it up a little bit before I take it off. These fenders are no good. They're all bent up. This one here, we might actually save that. It's not the greatest, but it didn't bend like the other one. Yeah, it bent the whole way through. We're probably gonna just get rid of it. Ain't gonna keep that. But so we'll just take the core support and stuff like that, and all the suspension. I'm probably gonna keep part of the front frame too, in case we ever need a frame section. Just cut it at the crush box. I mean, that's about it. Ain't keeping the hood. We'll take all of our bolts and chains, all these little chains off. And trunk chains, if I can get them out.